Hello guys! Welcome to Sissygram Genderbender Stories on YouTube. Today, I am bringing you a brand new genderbender story. If you like my voice, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Now, let's start the story. Alina slowly came back to consciousness, her senses clouded by the aftereffects of the anesthesia. She blinked, trying to clear the fog in her mind as she vaguely recognized the shapes of medical equipment and the pale green color of the walls surrounding her. A soft voice broke the silence, speaking gently from her left. "Welcome back. How are you feeling?" The voice belonged to a woman in a white coat, holding a clipboard, her tone professional but warm. As Alina's vision cleared, she could finally make out the doctor's features, her kind smile offering comfort. "Where I?" Alina croaked, her voice raspy and dry from the effects of the anesthesia. "You're in the recovery ward," the doctor replied. The procedure went smoothly. "Can you tell me your name?" Alina paused, a sense of confusion clouding her thoughts. As she sifted through the haze of her memories, she finally managed to answer. "I'm Alina." The doctor's smile widened. "That's right. Good job, Alina." She paused for a moment, allowing Alina to process before continuing. "I know you're probably feeling a bit disoriented, but that's completely normal. The anesthesia will take some time to wear off. Let's start with something simple. Can you wiggle your toes for me?" Alina furrowed her brow, focusing hard on moving her feet. After a brief struggle, she finally felt the slight twitch beneath the covers. "Excellent. Your motor functions seem intact," the doctor said. "Now, I'll ask you a few more questions to assess your cognitive state. Can you tell me what year it is?" 2024, Alina responded, still struggling to fully ground herself in the present. "In a hospital, some kind of medical facility?" "That's right. You're at the Transformation Center. Do you remember why you're here?" Flashes of memory began to resurface, forms signed with trembling hands, hushed voices, and a lifetime of yearning for something more. "I'm changing," Alina said quietly, her voice filled with emotion. "Becoming who I was always meant to be." The doctor nodded approvingly. "Exactly. You've completed the first major step of your physical transition. Your body will need time to heal and adjust, but you've made a huge leap forward. How are you feeling emotionally?" Alina took a moment, trying to untangle the mess of emotions swirling within her. "Overwhelmed, scared, but also hopeful. It's like I am waking up from a long dream." The doctor nodded in understanding. "We have counselors available if you ever need someone to talk to. For now, though, focus on resting and letting your body recover. A nurse will be by soon to check your vitals and assist you with anything you need." "Do you have any questions for me?" Alina shook her head, still processing the enormity of the situation. "All right then," the doctor said with a final pat on her arm. "Get some rest. We'll talk more later." "Welcome to the first day of your new life." As the doctor left, Alina found herself alone with a whirlwind of thoughts. Her hands cautiously explored her new body, marveling at the changes already taking place. It was really happening. The dream she'd kept locked away for so long was becoming a reality. Tears filled her eyes as she allowed herself to cry, releasing the pent-up emotions she had carried for years. Beneath the fear and uncertainty, she felt a deep sense of rightness, a feeling that she was finally coming home to herself. As the anesthesia began to pull her back under, Alina drifted into a peaceful sleep, a small smile on her face, eager to face the new day and her new self. Sunlight streamed through the blinds the next morning, pulling Alina from her sleep. For a moment, she felt disoriented. Everything was unfamiliar, and her body ached in new ways. But then the memory of what had happened flooded back, bringing with it a rush of excitement. She gingerly pushed herself into a sitting position, wincing at the soreness in her body. When she looked down, she noticed the bandages and medical dressings covering her torso. Tentatively, she placed a hand on her chest, her breath catching as she felt the slight swell there. It was real. Just then, there was a soft knock at the door. "Come in," Alina called, her voice still raspy, but noticeably higher in pitch than before. A cheerful nurse entered, pushing a cart filled with medical supplies. "Good morning. How are we feeling today?" the nurse asked with a warm smile. "Sore, a bit dizzy, but good, really good," Alina replied, her voice filled with both excitement and nervousness. "That's completely normal. Your body's been through a lot, but you're healing well. Let's check your vitals and change those dressings, shall we?" As the nurse went about her work, Alina asked her questions about her recovery and what to expect next in her transition. The nurse, patient and experienced, offered calm reassurance. "Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint," she advised. "Your body needs time to adjust to all these changes, so don't push yourself too fast." Alina nodded, trying to contain her eagerness. "I know, it's just, I've been waiting for this for so long. It doesn't feel real." The nurse smiled kindly. "I can only imagine. But you've got your whole life ahead of you now. Take your time and enjoy the journey." After the nurse left, Alina made her way to the small attached bathroom, leaning heavily on an IV stand for support. Her heart raced as she faced the mirror. The reflection looking back at her was still familiar, yet subtly changed. Her features were softer, her hair longer, and now falling in gentle waves around her face. Though much of her body was still hidden beneath the hospital gown, she could see the early signs of the transformation in the shape of her chest. Tears welled up as she whispered to her reflection, "Hello, Alina. It's nice to finally meet you." The following days passed quickly, filled with medical checkups, physical therapy, and deep conversations with the center's counselors. Alina threw herself into her recovery with a sense of determination, asking questions and learning everything she could about her body's changes. She continued her hormone therapy, which gradually softened her features and redistributed her body's fat and muscle. However, the journey wasn't without its struggles. Some days, Alina felt the weight of her dysphoria more heavily, and the gap between how she saw herself inside and what she saw in the mirror seemed insurmountable. One particularly difficult afternoon, Alina found herself curled up in bed, sobbing. Fear and doubt about her transition overwhelmed her. What if she was making a mistake? What if she could never truly live as the woman she felt she was inside? A gentle knock at the door interrupted her thoughts. It was Dr. Maya, the counselor who had been by her side throughout the journey. "May I come in?" she asked softly. Alina nodded weakly, and soon Dr. Maya sat beside her on the bed, rubbing soothing circles on her back as Alina cried. After a while, when the tears subsided, Alina whispered a shaky apology for breaking down. "You have absolutely nothing to apologize for," Dr. Maya said firmly. "This is a life-altering process, and it's normal to have moments of doubt. Do you want to talk about what's bothering you?" Alina, still shaky, replied, "I don't even know what triggered it. It just feels like I am trying to climb this enormous mountain, and I can't see the top." Dr. Maya nodded understandingly. What a big journey. But remember, you don't have to do it all at once. Take it one step at a time." They talked for a long time, with Dr. Maya listening patiently to Alina's fears and insecurities. By the end, Alina felt emotionally drained but much calmer. "Thank you," she said softly. "I don't know how I'd get through this without all of you." Dr. Maya smiled gently and squeezed her hand. Later, Alina took solace in writing in her journaling. She had begun this habit as a way to process the overwhelming changes. She wrote a letter to her future self, hoping that in years to come, the fears she felt would seem distant. As the days passed, Alina's outings outside the center became more frequent and significant. Each new step in the world beyond the facility brought triumphs, but also new challenges. One of her first trips outside was to a farmer's market with Dr. Maya. Alina practiced her social interactions, speaking with vendors and learning how to navigate the world as her true self. She made small victories, like buying peaches from a vendor without hesitation, simply existing in the world as a woman. But despite these accomplishments, Alina couldn't help but feel a lingering sense of longing. She wondered if she would ever have the chance to become a mother. Dr. Maya reassured her that while it was a possibility, there was time to think about it later. For now, Alina focused on savoring each small victory. At the center, Alina continued her recovery, getting stronger with each passing day. She began to feel a sense of kinship with the women around her, seeing them not with envy, but as a reflection of herself. She no longer felt like she was pretending to be someone else. She was becoming who she had always been. As her discharge day approached, Alina was filled with a mix of excitement and apprehension. She was eager to begin her new life, but leaving the comfort of the center was daunting. The final days were filled with exit interviews, last-minute counseling sessions, and emotional goodbyes to the people who had become like family. Dr. Maya, in particular, had been her rock throughout the journey, and parting with her was hard. "You're ready for this," Dr. Maya assured her during their last session. "You've come so far, and you have all the tools you need. You're not the same person who walked through those doors months ago. You're stronger now, more yourself than you've ever been." On the morning of her discharge, Alina carefully prepared herself for the day. She wore a soft floral sundress, paired with comfortable sandals and subtle makeup. She wanted to step into the world as her authentic self, feminine but not overstated. Before leaving, she wrote a letter to her past self, expressing gratitude for the courage to take the first steps on her journey. When it was time to leave, Alina felt a mix of emotions. As she stepped into the sunlight for the first time as her true self, she felt the weight of her old life, her old name, fall away. She was finally Alina, inch, body, and soul. Her new life was just beginning. Alina's new chapter started with a taxi ride to her new apartment. The driver, a middle-aged woman with a friendly smile, greeted her warmly, using the term "miss" with ease. Alina smiled, her heart soaring at the casual use of the female honorific. She had made it. As the car pulled away from the curb, Alina took one last look at the center, the place that had been her sanctuary. "Goodbye, Alex," she thought silently. "Thank you for getting me here, but it's my turn to live now." This is where the story ends. I spend hours of effort creating these kinds of stories, so if you're new to this channel, please hit the like button and subscribe my Sissygram Genderbender Stories YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to comment on what you would do if you were in his place. I'm eagerly waiting for your comments, and I personally read all of them. Okay, guys, thanks for joining. And I'll see you in the next story in the next video. Take care and bye.